Okay, Steve Mazzone here from Ocean State Running, and we're here with Aaron Tallardy and Tyler Faubert of Westerly High School in our Celebrating Seniors feature. Guys, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here today.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so basically, I've said this in all the other features that we've done. We're kind of doing this to kind of honor you guys for all the hard work that you've done at your school. You guys kind of got shortchanged a little bit this year with COVID-19 wiping out your outdoor season. So there's our way of kind of giving back to you guys, giving you guys a little recognition for all the hard work that you've done. So I'd like to begin by let's talking about like COVID-19. So that kind of came at you guys pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Something was happening, and then you got a few weeks passed by, and then it became evident that the season was going to be canceled. Aaron, I'm going to begin with you. What's your thoughts on that? Tell me about that happening at the time it did, and what was your reaction to it?
I think like the worst part about it was how sudden it was. Like I know for our school, like we were going to start practicing outdoor the Monday after like the weekend it got really bad in the US. So like I was like really ready to start practicing with the teammates again, and then it all came down and it was just over after that and completely done, wiped. So I was pretty disappointed.
So how have you been able to kind of stay motivated during this time? Because you're used to all these years, running with teammates. Now you're kind of on your own, and you're running basically with a watch in your hand, but you're doing it individually. How do you get yourself motivated to do it?
The way I'm looking at it now is like the best time to train, because you're either going to have the people that aren't motivated to train alone or the people that are, and it's really a good time to get ahead, because there are going to be people that'll slack off at this time when they don't have coaches or teammates. So I think it's really good to push yourself now, because it'll really show up later when we're actually allowed to compete again.
Absolutely. And Tyler, how about you? What was your thoughts on COVID-19 happening and all that it's done in keeping us basically, I'd say prisoners at our house for the most part?
Well, it just happened like really sudden, just like Aaron said. I was kind of shocked at first, but I stayed optimistic about it, thinking, oh, we can still have a season, even if it's just one race or something. And then it got shut down, and I kind of lost all hope. I really haven't been on my own running, but I've definitely been like mentally preparing for myself for like a comeback almost.
And Aaron, I'm going to talk with you. What do you consider probably the highlight of your years at Westerly? Have you been there all 4 years competing?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, what would you consider probably the highlight of your 4 years there?
I don't think I thought my favorite time this season was the qualifying for New England's. That's been like a goal of mine since freshman year. Like seeing that podium when I was a freshman, I was like, I want to be there one day, and I kept training. And when I finally did it, I was like super, super excited about it. But definitely like best moment was getting the school record for indoor.
Now, where did you get that school record?
I got it at BU at the last chance meet.
Yeah, which gets some great competition there.
Yeah, no, it was really fun to run there.
Could you sense that were you aiming for the school record when you were there? Were you thinking that you could get it?
Yeah, I was going for it. I had gone for it the week before at the USATF New England's meet, and I didn't get it. There was like a seating issue. It was tough. But so I came back the next weekend, ran at BU, and I was gunning for it. And the competition definitely helps when you get there.
And to get the school record at Westerly, that's a pretty impressive feat considering the runners that you've had there before, including Andrew Springer, which I'm sure a lot of people know about Andrew Springer. He's a multiple state record holder, a national champion. Certainly had a great career there. So kudos to you for doing that.
Thank you.
And Tyler, how about the highlight of you? But before I begin with you, we did have, I want to let people know that we had a Google form sent out that you guys could, put some comments about your careers and stuff like that. And one thing I was impressed with you is that your first race back in middle school, you were deadlift.
Yeah.
And then you came around and you've done 17:30 for 5K and 5:17 mile, 2:19 800. That's impressive. First of all, talk about that. So when you got dead last in this race, were you ever thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna give up on this sport, or were you just saying, no, it's actually motivating me more?
No, I remember when I came across the finish line that first race, I came across with a smile on my face. I didn't really care that I came in last. I was having fun. But over the years, I wanted to improve as best as I can. So I worked hard and focused. Because before every race, my mentality was always going to be like, I'm going to be the best that I can be. In every race, I'm going to PR no matter how much it hurts at the end. I'm going to go for the full send. I think my best memory from high school was when I broke 19 minutes in the 5K, because back my sophomore year, I came very close, and it was like off by like a few like thousandths of a second, and it almost like threw me off the next couple of years. I got injured, somewhat injured for a week, and I was basically plateauing. I was starting to lose motivation, but I came to it and started working hard in my senior year. I broke it, and it was the best feeling I've ever had.
And you made it to the varsity team, correct?
Yeah, that was a lot of competition as well. There was a lot of great guys that competed against to get that spot, which I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity to run varsity.
No, that's quite impressive, and it just shows your perseverance, and I'm impressed by that. Aaron, what kind of motivates you to do this sport? This is a sport that doesn't get too much recognition, and it's kind of one of those unsung hero sports, I guess you could say. What is it that motivates you to do this again? And the other thing is, you guys aren't, except for maybe the state meet and a bigger meet, you're not running in front of a big crowd. So that what is it that motivates you?
So I know for like a lot of other sports, it's like they train, they practice because they really enjoy like playing the sport, like say football or something. They enjoy the actual game of it. I think for me, it's actually like the feeling you get right when you finish, like right when you've ran a good race, or you've hit a PR, or you just beat somebody that you've always wanted to beat. And I think that feeling alone motivates me a huge amount. And throughout the years, it's carried me through a lot of tough training sessions.
Absolutely. But yeah, definitely the rewards of all your hard work is what motivated me too. How about you, Tyler?
Let's see. Say your question again. Sorry.
What is it that motivates you to get out there and run and compete?
I think it's just me knowing, like, when I'm out there running, it's like all the problems in the world just go away. I feel like I'm just like free. I can just go out and do what I want, just be relaxed and enjoy the run, basically.
Absolutely. And how about workouts? I mean, we all dread those track workouts, but we also know how important they are. What's a workout that comes to your mind the most, that workout that you enjoyed, enjoyed the most?
For me, I think that I enjoyed the most probably was like maybe like a ladder workout. You go up high and then you go back down. I really enjoy those just because like you get tired in the middle and then it slowly gets better and better. And then when you finish, it's like, wow, that was a lot.
Tyler, how about you?
I would have to say hill workouts. I mean, during it, I'm definitely extremely tired from it, but it definitely helps me get better prepared for races. Even though I may not enjoy it as much, I'm very appreciated that I get to do the hill workouts because it's a lot of work and it definitely pays off in the end.
Guys, now I know, runners can be very superstitious people. In fact, I think they're the most superstitious people out of all the athletes out there. Are there any particular things that you have to do before a race? Any particular meal that you have to eat before each meet? How about you, Aaron?
So I don't really have like an action I do. Like I don't have a specific meal really. But the one thing that I always keep consistent is I always wear these long socks. They're tie-dye, pink and blue, and they have pictures of my dog all over them. And I wear them to every meet. And I've done that for the past 2 years. I also wear a t-shirt over my uniform, like when I go up to the meets, and it says "You done messed up, Aaron" on it. I've worn that for years now. So that's basically it for me, but I always wear them.
So you proved exactly what I just said, how runners are superstitious people. How
Yeah.
about you, Tyler?
Oh, I'm very superstitious. I have to make sure I do everything exactly the same way as I did it the last week when I did well. I would always have eggs before a meet to get everything out of my system. On the way up, I'm always listening to music. I'm always trying to get in the zone, focusing on the race, focusing on my goals for that day, trying to not let any distractions happen. And then once the race starts to come and we're doing our warm-ups and stuff, I really start to get in the zone, try to get hype a little bit, but not too much where I exhaust myself. And then once the gun goes off, I'm ready to go.
So what kind of music does it have to be? Is it a specific kind of music that you have to listen to?
Well, for me, before races, I like to listen to a lot of rap because I like the deep bass it gives me, because I like feeling the music and gets me all pumped up and like ready to go, almost like going out into like a football field, all pumped and hyped up, ready for the game. It has that same kind of feel to it.
How about you, Aaron? What type of music? Do you have to listen to a specific type of music or artist?
I don't really listen to a whole lot of music before I go up. I tend to watch like shows before I go up because a lot of the time, if I'm just left like thinking about the race, I'll psych myself out. So I just try to do something that'll like distract me from it until like I'm right before the race and I can like plan out what I'm thinking for the race. But if I do it too early, I'll freak myself out.
So what would you guys consider, your favorite meet that you've run throughout your 4 years? I know sometimes you get to travel beyond the borders, maybe to New York or Connecticut or Massachusetts. But what would you consider your favorite meet that you've competed in?
I think for me, Yale is always a fun meet, the Yale Classic. That one, I love multi-day meets, like going up with like a small group of people and like just hanging out for the whole day. And it's usually pretty good competition at those meets at Yale. It's pretty stiff competition. And it's always fun running at that one just because I love running on banked tracks. And that's
absolutely.
Up until this year, that was the only bank track I ran on other than New England's.
Now what race did you run there this year?
At Yale?
Yeah.
The Yale Track Classic.
Yeah, but which race?
Oh, my mistake. I ran the DMR and the 4x8.
And yeah, tell me about those crowds though. How about those crowds that basically right around the whole track?
Oh yeah,
in the stands too.
It's crazy at that one. There's like people lining the whole track.
And how about you, Tyler?
Well, I have to say my two favorite race courses are Brown University and Pontigansett. I like the Brown University invite because it's very flat and I always tend to do very well on that course. That's where I set my PR for my 5K. It's very comfortable grounding. And then Pontigansett, it's a very difficult course, but it's so rewarding when you PR on it. And you have that great, and even going into that race for states or JV states or class, you're like all the attention's on you, all the pressure's on you, and it's like, okay, this is my time to shine. I gotta show them what I can do. But I also like to say, I've never ran at Yale, but I've gone up and watched it, and I really like that race because it's a great time to bond with all my teammates, and it's just I have a blast.
No, it's definitely. I've covered that meet a few times, and I can see why you guys would rank that up there. Here's a random question: if you guys could go anywhere in the world, all expense paid trip, where would you go? Where would you end up?
I've always wanted to go somewhere snowy because when I go and travel, I tend to go like warmer, but I've always wanted to go like up into the mountains somewhere. So I don't really have a specific place in mind, but definitely somewhere where I could like be in the mountains. I've always thought that was really cool.
Tyler, how about you?
I feel like one place I've always wanted to go was London. I've always been amazed with all the architecture and all the buildings there. It's just really interesting. I've also like along with Aaron, I'd like to go see the mountains somewhere, maybe up north, like Norway or somewhere out there. It's really beautiful places to go see.
We had, I think, like five different individuals, and I was surprised at Bora Bora, which was kind of random, but we had at least five of them. How about if you could fail at nothing? What would be the thing that you would want to do other than like track what you're doing now, or if there was something you could fail at that you absolutely wouldn't fail? What would be something you'd want to do?
So I've always been interested in coding and I've been learning at it and working at it. I'm in computer science right now. And it's really hard to not mess up in that. Like even the tiniest thing screws it all up. So I would love to not be able to fail in that.
Is that what you're going to school for?
Yeah, computer engineering.
Computer engineering. Tyler, how about you?
One thing I wouldn't want to fail at is probably be coaching. Before all this, I was a coach for a youth lacrosse group. And
Okay.
I enjoy spending time with them. And I thought about like doing like other sports. I've always had a passion for football. I might want to coach one day for running, cross country, track. It's just I really like giving the best of my knowledge of what I know to people that could use it and become great athletes one day.
Now, do you play high school lacrosse?
I played high school lacrosse my freshman and sophomore year. I didn't make the team junior year, so I went out for track, and that was actually a really fun time for me.
Yeah. So talk about that sport. I mean, I used to be a sports writer, and my first experience of that sport was actually covering Bryant lacrosse, and I fell in love with it watching it the first time. I was like, I wish they had this sport when I was in high school because it's kind of like hockey, soccer, rugby, football, all mixed into one. It is what drew you to it?
I think, when it came around I think I was in fourth grade, I tried out for it and for the youth league, and I didn't really like it at first, but over time I really enjoyed it. Just all the physicalness. Like sometimes you want to get like all that anger out, and like with cross country, or like running, you can't really do that. But in lacrosse, you can like full out body someone and without even a penalty or anything. But it's a really fun sport. It's also a good bonding sport as well, which is also I like about it. I like all the teammates I've had. And nothing against running though, of course. Nothing against my running teammates. I still enjoy them too. But yeah, it's a great sport.
Absolutely. So guys, who would you like to give a shout out to, or what people would you like to give a shout out to? Usually people like to give more than one person. Aaron, I'm going to start with you. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Well, I would obviously shout out my coaches. They've always helped me through all 4 years. My dad, who goes to like all of my indoor meets, all the way up from Westerly to Providence. And definitely my personal trainer that I have in Westerly here that's pushed me for the past 4 years.
I agree with you as far as your dad, because I don't think my dad missed a meet. He was one of the few dads that was there at every single meet, and that certainly helped. Tyler, how about you?
I'd like to give a shout out to my mom. She's always pushed me every step of the way to do the best that I that I can do. Shout out to my coaches as well. My retired coach, Rock, he was great motivator for me. I don't think I could have gone as far as I have without him. Same thing goes with my coach. Other coaches, Coach Adam and Coach Fed, they definitely pushed me along to come to where I am now. Shout out to all my other friends who's always keeping me motivated. Randy Creasy, Jake Sarah, Aaron. I appreciate every step of the way you guys given me. I don't think I'd be where I am now if it wasn't for you guys. Appreciate it.
And guys, has anybody ever given you any great quotes or great words of advice that you've carried with you?
I think one of the biggest things that I've remembered throughout the years is one of my coaches, Coach Fed. He's always told me that like mentality is like the biggest part of it, and that running is 10% physical and 90% mental. And that's always stuck with me because it's really true. If you go into a race not feeling great in the head, you're not going to have a great time.
No, I 100% agree with you. When I coach, that's the one thing I stress to these kids too. Most of it's between the ears. And Tyler, how about you?
I was going to say the same thing, but I think one thing to know about running is that you got to have fun during it. I figured that out during some of my races during track and cross country season. I just enjoyed the time there. You know, you just got to live in the moment and enjoy what you have. But yeah, and also if you want to be competitive, you got to focus on one person, and that's yourself. That's always you got to focus on in order to be the best that you can be.
You're kind of answering my next question. Aaron, how about what's some words of advice you could give to the young runners out there?
Definitely, like even the smallest things matter. So don't skip out on anything. That 0.1 of a second in a race can really come down to, did you stretch right? Did you do that last rep? So literally everything will matter.
Good words of advice. And Tyler, you want to add to basically what you were saying before?
Well, just live in the moment. I think what I was going to say. You just got to live in the moment, enjoy the race, focus on your goals. And if you don't get your goals, that's okay. You might be upset. You might have set a lot of high standards. I know I've gotten upset during races because put in a lot of work and I didn't want to like stoop down low. That's okay, because what I do with that when you ever have a bad race is use that motivation for your next race. And you can come back just like that.
Absolutely. I agree with both you guys with what you're saying. So both you guys are heading off to URI. Aaron, I know you're going to be running track. How about you, Tyler? You're going to be competing there down at URI?
I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. It's probably just going to be some club sport. I'm going to try to keep running once I get to it. Might do flag football or something fun, leisure, but I'm definitely going to continue running for as long as I can.
So, Aaron, you're majoring in computer engineering, you were saying?
Yes.
Tyler, how about you? What are you going to major in, or have you decided?
I am going to be majoring in civil engineering.
Okay, so both great fields. Both fields that there's a lot of opportunity out there. My son, Aaron, actually is a computer engineer, and there's plenty of jobs out there. So, and I'm sure the same thing with your interest, Tyler. But guys, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. Again, this is just our way to kind of honor you guys for all the hard work that you did. We know you, again, got shortchanged this season with COVID-19, but it seems like you guys are keeping your head up and you're moving forward just the way we figured track and field athletes would do. So I just congratulate you on being a part of your team and being, I'm sure, an important part of your team throughout the 4 years, and wish you the best of luck moving forward, guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks again.